Before we started the recording, Jesse's like, what story are we going to start with? I'm like, I don't know. Let's just start.
You've had some interesting things happen to you this week.
I have.
Start with last night.
Oh my gosh. So for those that are new to the podcast, I'm a sleep eater.
What does that mean?
It means sometimes at night, if I go to bed a little hungry, or if I go to bed really stoned or really intoxicated, I sleepwalk and I eat out of my fridge.
So previous to this last night, the weirdest thing I'd ever heard of her sleep eating was meat wrapped in cheese that ended up under your bed and you found it like days later and it was turned into
not days,
wood,
probably months.
and it was petrified, rock hard.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Well, this involved cheese again. So I woke up in the middle of the night to go to the washroom. Not in the middle of the night, but closer to the morning. You know when you're have your wake up pee before you wake up?
Yeah.
You have your wake up pee and then you go back to sleep for half an hour or whatever and wake up again.
Yeah.
So I did that. And when I did, I always grab a glass of water and I noticed my fucking fridge was open. So I'm like, oh shit, Jenna, you must have slept walk. Or actually, at first, I thought maybe the fridge, because it is a bit older, that maybe it just swung open.
Lost its seal.
So then I was going to make my bed, and I look, and I see this big orange stain.
Did you think something happened to you? You're bleeding?
No, I was just confused. I'm like, what the hell? And so I take off all my bedding, and there, sitting in my bed, was it was obviously the end of the block of cheese. And what had happened was it had gotten under my sheet, and then I had gone over top of my sheet and then on my duvet. So it was squished between everything and me.
But not on the actual mattress. It was on the elastic sheet.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
God. I had to
God.
take off my mattress protector because it's oily, right? So and then my white duvet cover is has these huge orange. It all came out, thank God. But yes, so there was that.
Did you eat it?
No. And you asked me if I took a picture of it. I was like, why?
Well, we could have showed our lovely viewers. I wanted to see the melted round cheese.
Think about the color of cheddar and about as round as a tennis ball and completely deflated silly putty or
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh. Exactly like Play-Doh.
You and the cheese, we're going to have to get you one of those lock boxes. You know, people hide their Halloween candy from their spouse in the fridge. So we're going to get you one of those. Why are you making that face, Jenna?
Jesse brought... Oh.
Pink Whitney! Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh.
I love this shit.
Ew, you would. It reminds you of drinking Kool-Aid when you were a kid, hey?
Ooh. Yeah, no, actually, well, kind of. You know what I used to do that's going to gross me out when I was a kid? You know the juice concentrates, grape juice and stuff? I used to...
Oh, the frozen ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you eat it with a spoon.
Oh, no, I would mix it with Sprite, more sugar, and then drink you wonder why I was chubs.
I used to eat it with a spoon, especially the orange juice ones.
Oh, because it'd be like
a Slurpee. Because I was never allowed Slurpees or things like that. So that would be my idea of being sneaky and getting a treat.
Which those probably have so much more sugar than a real Slurpee. But see, this is a good lesson for parents. Kids will find a way.
Oh, yeah. And I used to sneak ramen noodle packs and eat them raw.
Oh, yeah. That was a big thing at recess until everyone started saying it gives you worms. That's not true, is it?
I don't know.
How could they give you worms?
My mom said when you eat anything raw, raw dough, raw cookie dough, you could get worms.
You could.
Because it's raw eggs or something. I don't know.
Come on.
Whatever. So, yeah, that happened. What else happened to me? Oh, I almost killed a cab driver.
Okay. I don't know why I find this so funny.
You know,
I think it's because I could picture it.
If you were near Stash & Co. on Bank Street and you heard a girl yelling, "Fuck off!" at the top of her lungs, that was me.
What happened?
I was getting into my car and he was parked behind me. And honestly, I had 6 feet between me and him. So I get in my car and I go to reverse. Well, I obviously have a backup camera. Duh, I'm part Asian. I suck at driving. So I have my backup camera that will beep at you if you get too close. So I'm backing up, and honestly, it's not even coming close to beeping yet, and he's beeping on his horn. So I'm like, I have so much room. So I keep backing up, and he starts doing that.
A long beep.
And then because I'm still not that close. And so finally, I just got so mad. I got out of the car, turned to him, put my hands on you have so much fucking room here. Seriously, fuck off. And I drove away.
Oh my God.
At first I got in the car, and before I drove away, I backed up a little bit more again.
Did he honk again?
Yep. And then I drove away.
I can't believe you got out of the car. You got some big cojones.
I was PMSing, and I think he just caught me like in a frustrated
What's his
mood.
problem? He probably was trying to hit on you. Maybe that's his.
No, he was dropping off a customer.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You were gonna hit him.
No, I wouldn't. Of course, I got a brand new car. I'm not gonna fuck my car up.
No.
Just to prove a point. But I'll get really, really close to make him feel like I'm gonna fuck up his car.
Yeah. Good for you. See, this is why she's the man in our relationship. I hope you're watching this episode so you can see her face every time she drinks this shit. Oh, and it's disgusting because we didn't mix it with anything. That makes it worse.
I should make a little reel of every time I take a sip.
See, you had some wild things happen to you this week. I didn't have anything. You know what I'm dealing with is my landlord selling the building I live in, so they constantly have showings. And so at first I was like spraying air freshener, cleaned up, hid my weed.
Why were you spraying air freshener?
Well, because I was just trying to make it like hospitable. And then that now I don't care. I don't even hide anything. Leave the fleshlight out.
With the lube.
Yeah, like I don't care.
Next to Marla Hooch's picture.
She's still on the fridge. But it's just getting excessive. There's one or two every day. So I'm like, okay, well, you're going to see what you see.
Yeah, that's the one shitty part about being a renter is you don't have control over that, right?
Yeah. Ugh, so that's irritating. All right, shall we get to the news? As of this recording, Donald Trump is still alive. I'm sorry, my dear, but you're up for elimination. Did you see that meme?
No.
RuPaul saying that to Trump? That's so funny.
I just think it's very dangerous what he's doing right now, honestly. Because if he is as great as he says he's doing and he's rebounded, with very little ramifications, he's going to go and he's going to tell everybody, which he already put out a tweet today.
I know.
Hinting towards it that it is not, I'm right, all the doctors, all the scientists are wrong, I am right, I'm old, I'm fat, I should die, I didn't. And then all the Trump supporters are going to go wild and crazy.
Yep.
And there's going to be chaos in the streets. If he doesn't win, I hate to say this, but it wouldn't shock me if there was civil unrest all over the United States. Wars in the streets, more protesting, yeah.
I couldn't believe the part.
Why are we talking about this?
I know this isn't the news they're listening for.
Yeah, but, this isn't even the news I want to talk about.
Because I just read that tweet and it was shocking to me that he wrote like, "Don't be afraid of this virus. Don't let it ruin your life."
It's disrespectful to the over 200,000 people that have died from it. Even if it didn't affect you and you don't think it is, just keep your fucking mouth shut.
Yeah.
You know, because to some people it has been really serious. And to a lot of people, they lost loved ones. So, okay, can we go back to our news?
My lord. Yes, back to our originally scheduled programming. Yeah. But see, no, it's good. Now we gave a nice PSA so people can't tell us we don't care. Okay. First headline, kissing the coronavirus. We can't get away from this thing. An erotic romance novel where a scientist...
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, here we go. What are we going to talk about
Have you seen this picture? I tweeted it the other day. This book is going viral.
So say it again. It's an erotic novel?
Yes. Our guest AE Lister is just beside herself about this because she didn't think of it. Here's what it's about. It's called Kissing the Coronavirus. It's a real book. And a scientist falls in love with and gets it on with a coronavirus. Okay, but I'll explain. So this evil scientist catches the virus and it turns him into a human version of the virus that the main character, a woman, can then have sex with. So it's like, you know, like Spider-Man, but a coronavirus version of Spider-Man.
Oh, so like he's not like a walking blob.
No, he's very muscular, but green and like sexy, but like with little virusy things.
Wow, I don't think I'd ever take that angle with the coronavirus. If I was gonna try and make an erotic novel about coronavirus, it would probably be more something that like, by this time, coronavirus has taken over the world and now there's camps. And when these people have sexy camps at their sick camps.
Oh, like quarantine camp.
Yeah.
That's interesting. This was much more sci-fi, but we actually have a little excerpt that I'm going to make you read.
Read it?
No, you are going to read it because you have a phone sex voice.
Oh, no. So I haven't read. Okay, where is it?
Okay, here we go. Kissing the coronavirus.
So do I start from Alexa?
Yeah, it's a short quote, but here we go.
Oh, God. Alexa felt a rush of excitement every time she picked up the corona sample. Is he talking about her jizz? The corona sample?
This is before the sample infected the man.
Okay, sorry. We got to start. This is why I should have read it beforehand. Okay. Alexa felt a rushing of excitement every time she picked up the corona sample, like a pulsating, erect penis, desperate to unleash its devastation on anyone who touched it. And that's it?
That's it for that one.
Because, like, at first I thought she picked up his corona sample, like, woo. Either that was like a semen sample or...
She picked up the wrong kind of sample and was like, hey, I kind of like this.
Wow, would you continue to read that book if you had more?
I might, but I still
How much was it? I'll buy it for you.
Oh gosh,
I don't know.
I don't know how much it is. We'll have to check. But the picture's quite here. I should show it to you right now because I want you to see how hot this guy is. I actually found him quite attractive.
Oh God, Jesse. Make sure you guys watch us on YouTube so you can see this.
Well, we'll put up a picture, but there. See?
Look. Oh, it looks like a monster from the like deep lagoon or something.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But look at those shoulders. Ooh, wow. Oh, you can't see.
Anyways, it looks like the Hulk.
Like a little bit, yeah, a little Hulk.
It looks like the Hulk if the Hulk came from a swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have anything weird happen to you on a first date ever, well, I'm sure you have. There's the face again. She took a sip.
Oh.
You know, we don't have to drink during these recordings.
I'm not wasteful though. Okay, say that again.
Anything weird on a first date that would like turn you off? Maybe I should tell you the story and then ask you.
I'm trying to think if there was anything really weird. No. Because they always end up being so boring.
I thought you were going to say, I got to get a first date first.
Dude, it's been a while.
Well, here's what happened to one guy, a 24-year-old guy named Lee in Glasgow,
sure.
Scotland. He knew his 38-year-old friend Stephen was going on a first date at a fancy steak restaurant. Very nice for a first date. So Lee called the restaurant pretending to be Stephen before the date and set up a special dessert surprise. He had the server bring over a cake at the end of the meal that had, "Will you marry me?" written on it.
On the first date?
On the first date. But he's playing, it'd be like if I was on a date and you did that to me.
Like it would be like a joke?
It was a joke.
Okay.
To try to embarrass his friend. The problem is the girl was not having it.
Oh.
She was pissed. She didn't think it was funny. So Lee caught the whole thing on video. He wound up paying for the meal. So he dropped about $180 on this prank, but he says it was worth it.
That's hilarious. Honestly, she was lame anyways.
She couldn't, but see, it made me think like, you know, stakes are high on the first date. So maybe she wasn't in that jokey mood and felt it was disrespectful, but like, it wasn't even the date's
Your
fault.
food does not dictate whether you should have a sense of haha on your date or not.
I guess.
See, that's why I like taking guys on dates to comedy clubs.
Because very casual.
No, because you get a great sense of, you get an idea for their sense of humor.
What they laugh at.
Are they laughing a lot? Are they laughing at the same time as you?
Yeah.
You know, and like there's intermission where you can chat a little bit, but I think it's nice to see, like I wouldn't do it necessarily for a first date.
Yeah.
Unless there was like dinner first. But for like a second or third, like if you're trying to decide like, oh, I'm kind of on the fence about this person.
Yeah.
Comedy show.
And if you're going on a first date this week, might I suggest Yuck Yucks? I'm hosting October 8th to 10th.
Of course. I didn't even know that. Somehow promoted you. Somehow.
You should come. It'll be fun.
I mean, I think that would be hilarious. Right then, that would score bonus points for me if I was sitting on a first date and his buddy was in the corner videotaping us and brought out a cake that said, Marry me.
That's funny. So I think maybe she felt it was like, maybe she felt the date was in on it. So like, oh, these guys are just making me the butt of the joke. Right.
I would turn it around and be like, actually, I'm the one that ordered the cake.
If you were the girl.
Because he doesn't know that his friend did it, right? So it'd be like, oh, thanks for the cake.
See? And that would be a match made in heaven.
See?
Some girls don't have a sense of humor.
I gotta find my cake guy.
Yeah. The only thing I know a guy that, well, okay, how do I put this? I knew a couple of gays that had a first date, and the one that told me the story said that they did it on the first date because, you know, gays, that's what we do. And in the middle of it, he said, "Will you marry me?" Like middle of getting rammed, "Will you marry me?" Maybe
it was a fetish thing.
But he's like,
it just came out. Will you marry me? Like guys maybe like, or like you say, "I love you" if the sex is really that good, but you don't actually mean it.
Yeah, like maybe it was just that good.
Yeah.
Like, oh, marry me.
Did they get married?
No, the guy the one that was said, "Will you marry me?" was turned off like the girl in the story. He was like, "That's too creepy for me." But the guy that said, "Will you marry me?" messaged him the next day and said, "Oh, I was just in the moment." Like, you know.
It's a really weird thing to say in the moment, though.
I love you. I could understand.
Yeah, like something like, because it would come out as like, "Oh, I love this," but instead saying "I love you," but "Will you marry me" during coitus?
Right. Weird. And sometimes I love you can be like when you're eating a pizza. Oh, I love this pizza. Like you're loving the moment.
Yeah. But will you marry me on the first date during sex?
Yeah.
I find that way creepier than the cake.
Me too. But we'd take it.
I would say yes.
Yeah. Say yes to the dress.
I would say yes on a first date because I don't know if I'd ever have another one.
Hey, speaking of say yes to the dress, do you like that show on TLC?
Sometimes, but now it just makes me sad.
Because weddings are not a thing anymore?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Or that I will never get to wear a fucking dress.
You never know. Now gay guys and straight women can get married.
Oh, yes. Yeah. There's that couple but they had sex.
They did have sex.
So if they didn't have sex, do you have the story here?
No, I don't.
So we're talking about this couple, and what country was it in?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
I don't know, but an English-speaking country.
But it was
like
Canadian.
I think England, or was it Canadian?
Well, like it was a CBC article.
So they were just ruled by the courts that they can be considered a couple, but even though they don't have sex.
Right, but they did have sex because they
wanted to have a kid,
and they did, and she got pregnant. So it's kind of murky.
So I'm wondering if they didn't do it, and even if they just did an artificial insemination.
Well, you're still
then
parents.
Right. So then you should be able to be legally married as well. What did they call it? Marriage with
no benefits.
Yeah, it was like many benefits. You get to date.
I guess so. But see, this begs the question then, should we be allowed to just form domestic partnerships and have the same rights married couples do?
Sure. If you claim taxes together, whether you're actually in a relationship or not, technically it'd be common law.
Yeah. You know how many couples that are actually married that don't have sex?
Right?
So
right?
I think that's great news.
Yeah.
I love it. Middle of the night, Jenna sends it to me. I said, we're not getting married.
No, you didn't say that. You said we're not having a baby.
Oh, right. We could get married.
We're not having a baby, Jenna.
We could get married if like all these corporations sponsor it and like, give us all this money.
There we go.
Publicity stunt. So there you go. All right. You want to do one of these or no?
No, you read them
okay. Okay. A woman is busted for getting it on with herself in front of a 7-Eleven. It's par for the course where I live.
I'm sure there's a lot of worse shit that's happened in front of a 7-Eleven than a woman flicking her bean.
Yeah, really. Well, I know nothing turns me on like overflowing garbage cans and concrete slabs. So.
Right? Some puke if it's like on a Sunday morning. There's usually vomit on the sidewalk.
Or in Vanier. Oh my God. Remember that what I sent you? That someone projectile vomited on a bus shelter? It was disgusting.
That is pretty gross.
Every time I go for a walk, it's like knives, condoms. Anyway, here's back to your Slurpee. 7-Eleven. 28-year-old woman named Vanessa Jones in St. Petersburg, Florida. Around 11 a.m. last Wednesday, she was outside of 7-Eleven getting it on with herself. She kept doing it after a kid under 16 came to the 7-Eleven with their uncle. Kid's uncle took a video. Of course. Yeah, kid's uncle took a video of Vanessa rubbing herself vigorously and turned it over to the cops. Yeah, I'm sure he deleted it right after and is never going to watch it again.
Did they arrest her?
She was arrested on felony lewd and lascivious exhibition.
Oh.
Disgust. So she was obviously on drugs. We don't have any more information than
that. Well, she was on drugs. She'd also be charged with a DUI.
What? Well, she wasn't driving.
Oh, I thought she was in her car.
No.
Chuck.
So she was probably homeless. I don't know. She was leaning against the dumpster.
I saw that actually the other day on Bank Street.
Someone masturbating?
I think.
Stop.
Well, I don't know if he was masturbating or taking a really long pee.
Where? Tell me everything.
I was just driving up Bank Street and I could see him. He had his back turned and there was like a mailbox and he was standing like between the wall and the mailbox. And it looked like he was peeing, but like I was sitting at that stoplight for a long time and like it was longer than even Tom Hanks's pee in A League of Their Own.
Austin Powers though?
Right. No. And I was like, I didn't want to look too hard because I didn't really want to find out what the answer was. But I mean, it was sad. He was, a homeless man but it was gross.
Yeah, you got to masturbate.
I'm telling you, Bank Street's the place to be. I almost killed a cab driver. Saw, a man taking a long whiz against the wall or masturbating, one of the two.
What is becoming to our safe little city of Ottawa?
Right?
Oh, gosh. I don't know.
There ain't nothing like a real... Downtown isn't a real downtown unless there's a whiff of urine once in a while.
It's true. I remember in Toronto when I was there for school, often I would find big dumps of poo in alleyways, which it's got to be.
Why are you being in alleys?
Well, smoking joints and stuff. Back then, kids, it was illegal. You had to hide.
Yeah, but not in a freaking crackhead alley, you weirdo.
No, but I mean, I was one of the weirdos. Yeah. Oh, college. Take a sip. Okay, continuing on.
I think I just want to slam the rest of this back so I don't have to endure this.
Chug. This is what you did with your friend at the cottage, and that's why you had a 2-day hangover. You chugged Pink Whitney. But you see, we didn't mix it with anything, and with a bit of ice, it goes down very smooth as a, I mean, not that smooth, but you're still drinking. I gave her the option of starting with wine. I brought a very small magnum
I just feel like after drinking wine, I would not be able to follow up with something sweeter.
Oh, it is sweeter, yeah.
Right?
All right. A 67-year-old who calls herself Lady Ninja and Eye of the Tiger took down an intruder in her seniors complex.
Hell yeah!
Did you see this one?
Future headline in 2070.
This is
Jenna takes down with her freaking sword that she's had her whole life.
Takes down a cabbie.
Yeah.
So you really never ever could tell who has the Eye of the Tiger. Good song.
It's the eye of the tiger. It's the
thrill of the fight. To the challenge of their rival.
Remember, we're not supposed to sing on a microphone.
We have no rules. It's our show, bitch. We do what we want. Sponsors, email Jesse and Jenna's messy podcast at gmail.com. A 59-year-old guy named Donald Prestwood broke into a senior apartment in Fontana, California earlier this week. He seemed drunk and said he was looking for his girlfriend. Then he busted into his girlfriend's 81-year-old mother's room. Okay, so let's get this straight. He's 59, going to visit his girlfriend, but he's drunk, and he accidentally broke into her mom's room instead of her room.
Okay.
So he started attacking her in her wheelchair. Oh, he was not looking for a sexy time. He was violent, angry, bad domestic violence. He started attacking the mom in her wheelchair, and she yelled for help.
Well, this no longer is our kind of story.
No, but our hero is about to enter, okay? So he's attacking this poor woman in a wheelchair. That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, foul.
Anyway, 67-year-old Lorenza Marujo heard the commotion 2 floors up. Turns out that Lorenza trained in jiu-jitsu from 81 to 2007. And she was a 2-time black belt. Her nickname in the industry is called Lady Ninja. And she used to train to Eye the Tiger, says that's her favorite song to train to.
So did she crank it up and go and kick some ass?
She ran up to the apartment, saw Donald going after her elderly neighbor, and she attacked. She bent his fingers back to get him off her friend. Then she elbowed him in his sternum.
Lorenza!
And took him down to the ground and held him until the cops got there.
She at least got one punch in the nards in there, too.
I hope so. But remember, she's 4'11", under 100 pounds. Donald is 5'10".
Doesn't matter when you're trained like that. You learn how to like flip people over and shit that are like 3 times your size.
Good for her.
With weight distribution.
And in this ageist society, which I'm a part of, you know, stories like this. Well, I am. And it's like, you know, stories like this give me hope that like, you know what? We don't all have to shrivel up and die when we're 67. Good for you, Lorenza.
Lady Ninja.
So this Donald guy, disgusting name too, was arrested.
That's my dad's name, asshole.
I was referring to Donald Trump. It's my grandpa's too. I take it back. It was a Trump joke. He was arrested for elder abuse, and Lorenza says her only regret is that her jiu-jitsu skills are a little rusty. She said, I could have done way more damage to him if I was still training.
The balls. She should have freaking right in the nards.
What is she? The grab and pull? Grab and twist?
Grab, twist, and pull.
Woo! Yeah.
You can also kick them hard enough that they go right back up into you.
Oh! Happens when you're cold sometimes.
Really?
Well, it depends. Some guys do. For me, they do. Not when I'm cold, but like they can go up. Like that's how you tuck, right? We've had this lesson from a drag queen. You put them up and you pull the dick around up through your butt cheeks and it holds everything in. I know. You have new respect for drag queens when you learn that. So there we go.
Lorenza. You know, I think that every woman should take some sort of self-defense.
Well, did you get it in high school?
Or everybody, not just women, everybody.
Yeah, 2020. In our high school, it was just the girls got it. But again, this is 100 years ago.
I don't think I attended that day. Everyone's like, I've been talking to people a lot and they're like, oh, do you remember in high school when you covered this section? I'm like, no. And then I was talking to my friend Michelle who skipped classes with me. And I was like, Michelle, do you remember this? She's like, no, we probably weren't there that day or that month. And I was like, okay.
Or that month.
You think I'm lying, but I'm not.
Shining example, kids, and she got a full ride scholarship. So don't let anybody tell you how to live your life.
You know what? It just goes to show that when you don't have academics, you can always rely on sports.
Or good luck.
To take you through life.
That's right.
Right?
Okay, are we going to end or what?
Can you pick the best one out of the Corona? I just don't want to talk about Corona anymore.
Look at all these. Well, you just pick one randomly.
Let's just.
Okay. Way more cats have coronavirus. Oh, this is depressing. A new study in China tested 102 cats, found 16 of them had coronavirus, which would suggest, or they had the antibodies, which suggests that they beat the virus. Why are we wasting tests on cats? Why are we wasting tests on cats?
I was going to make a horrible joke, but I'm not going to.
What?
About cats.
Pussies?
In China.
What? Now you have to.
I can't.
We're all going to wonder.
No, because it's semi-racist. So that's inappropriate in 2020.
But I thought they eat dogs, not cats.
There was this joke when we were in, when I was in university, like I was in a small college town, and there was this one Chinese restaurant in town. And bless their hearts, I ate there all the time. So again, I'm not being racist. There used to be a joke that there used to be like, because there was a lot of stray cats and they'd always hang around the back of the restaurant. So I think it was because the owners were so nice and they were probably feeding them. But we used to always joke about like, we needed the buffet, like, Whiskas tonight, guys.
So that's maybe why they're testing the cats, because they want to eat them. And they got to make sure that they don't.
No, it's a farce.
It's a farce.
I don't think they eat cats. I know lots of Chinese people, and I've never known them to eat a cat or a dog.
Well, I had a Chinese neighbor, and she said that was a myth. And then the next time I saw her, she had a leash hanging out of her mouth. So I don't know.
We're just cutting this whole part out of the podcast.
Okay, this is another sad one. Your Coyote Ugly's closed.
Why are we finishing on sad ones?
Well, no, I just had to talk about Coyote Ugly.
Well, like Barfax is closed too.
Sad, but Coyote Ugly, famous movie. Okay, turns out speaking English can spread coronavirus more than any other language because English leads to a lot of spitting. Who knew? All right. Finally, this one, we're way ahead of the curve. People on TikTok, new trend, because you lost your sense of taste with coronavirus, people who have tested positive are doing a challenge where they eat the most disgusting food they can think of. We did that 5 years ago.
What was it?
Well, I don't know. I don't remember. Remember, we would always eat shit on camera.
We try shit, but I'm trying to think, like, what would be something disgusting? If you're like, I'm going to do this TikTok video.
Vegemite. Big spoonful of Vegemite.
Oh, but I made you try Vegemite, didn't I?
Hated it. It's the most disgusting thing we ever tried.
I love it. You have to have it on butter with some toast with a little bit of butter.
What else did we try that was disgusting? The ghost peppers were really bad.
Well, those are just hot. I mean, had you tried that dry squid?
Yeah, I like that.
That was pretty fishy. Yeah. I'm surprised.
Well,
I know the most disgusting thing?
It's Pink Whitney.
Pink Whitney.
Let's get a refill.
I'm done.
Cheers.
Cheers.